Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Steve coming at you. Hope you're having a great day. It has been raining here in the DFW area for the past week. Got a little bit of break in the rain, so I wanted to make a quick video. And I just wanted to share something with you that's been going on for the past few days. I've been cracking up. Check it out. And it gets into both gets into pop culture, sports, kind of touches on a little bit of everything. Pop culture, sports, entertainment, and politics. And it is hilarious. Okay, I'll give you a little background. For those of you who don't know, Kwame Brown, and I think it was 2002, he was the #1 overall pick by the Washington Wizards. It's back when Jordan, the last part of Michael Jordan's career, he was playing for the Washington Wizards. He was #1 overall pick, got picked straight out of high school, 18 years old. I mean, it's a real big deal, and he got picked, and he didn't quite live up to whatever expectations for a #1 pick that were expected. Well, as it turns out, you know, he was on the team with Jordan, and Jordan had some other older players like Karl Malone and some other guys that he wanted to be able to win with, because Jordan was trying to do it again, because all Jordan cares about is winning. He was trying to do it again and win with the Washington Wizards the way he won with the Chicago Bears. He never was able to do that. So, as I understand it from the story, he wasn't really that keen or all in on this kid, been on his team to begin with. So he had a rough start to his NFL career. And Jordan and the other guys were not real cool with him, not real helpful, as I understand it. And he struggled, especially early on in his career. But he was in the NBA for about, and if I say NFL, I mean NBA. He was in the NBA for about 10 or 12 years. So, but you know, sports analysts and that sort of stuff, like Stephen A. Smith on ESPN, who has become the stupidest, wokiest of woke sports analyst or sports commentators. Is not so much an analyst, more a commentator. Stupid woke, but for years, even early on in the early 2000s, he was always all over this kid, talking about how he was a scrub and all this other stuff. Well, there's a show called All the Smoke with Matt Barnes, all these former NBA players, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, who kind of run the show. It's a podcast. And they had Gilbert Arenas in there, if I'm not mistaken, who played with Kwame Brown back in the early 2000s. And they're just clowning on him and, you know, talking about how, you know, and Gilbert Arenas basically talking about how the kid's confidence was hurt because of the way he got treated by Jordan, you know, coming straight out of high school. Jordan's his hero, his idol. He idolized him, and then he's just basically constantly berated and just kind of mistreated during his time there. And by the time Gilbert Arenas got there, he was kind of, at that point, his confidence was gone. He was lost. So he wasn't all that it was expected for him to be, being a #1 overall pick. Well, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson decided to clown on Kwame a little bit. Now, mind you, he's been out of the NBA for about, or he's been 20 years ago that he got drafted, roughly 20 years ago. He's been out of the league for at least a decade. And they decided to clown on him, and finally Kwame wasn't having it. Kwame came out on a video on YouTube and some other platforms, and he just went in on these guys. Kwame is not having it no more. It was hilarious. I mean, he was talking about I'm gonna put a link to some of the responses to what he's said to these guys. But he went in on Jackson. He went on Matt Barnes and called him Becky with the good hair. Because Matt Barnes is a real light-skinned brother with real nice hair. And we call him, he got the good hair. She got the good hair. So we call him Becky with the good hair. And he went in on Steven Jackson for being a wannabe thug. And it's really true, because these guys are in their 40s in this show called All the Smoke. They're supposedly getting high and talking about people, and these guys are in their 40s, man, late 30s and 40s, acting like kids. It's ridiculous. So he went in on them. He talked about how they're owned by the man, and they're white leaders. Well, they'll allow them to get on there and talk bad about black people, or the black men especially, and they're just not having it. Kwame's like, I'm not having it no more. So Kwame goes in on him, and he starts telling the truth about some stuff that's going down, and he is clouded on all those. I mean, he goes after those three. He goes Gilbert Arenas. He goes after. He talks about how MJ didn't treat him right. He talks about that. He talks about, and then some other people decided to get in the mix. He went after Stephen A. Smith. He said, told I slapped Stephen A. Smith's hairline higher than mine. Stephen A. Smith. He said, man, I slapped you so hard the back of your head, people think you wear the toupee with your hair. I was crying. It's hilarious. It is funny. You got to check it out. And then some of the truths he told, though, was about how he called them agents of chaos, and how essentially the man is allowing them to go out and talk bad about black people because that's what they want to see. And so they bought into this. He said, essentially, some people will do anything for a check. And he's talking about Hollywood and entertainment, how they've all sold their souls, how they've all sold out for that check and for that fame and fortune. And he is real. That brother is looking for all the smoke himself. That show's called All the Smoke. He's looking for all the smoke. He's going at everybody. Jamel Hill with her woke self, she lost her job at ESPN. She was so woke. She was too woke for them. Lost her job. He went on he's going on all of them. Everybody could get some. He's like, oh, you want some too? Well, I got some for you. You want some? I got. It's verbal punches. Like, he's like popping people for it, but he's verbal punches. But he is landing some serious blows. I mean, he's lighting these people up. You've got to check it out. So with that in mind, like I said, that's all I want to talk to you about. I'm going to add videos, and now, like I said, there's a lot of N-words, a lot of F-bombs, a lot of MF stuff. You can get past all that, and if that's not your thing, that's cool. Don't watch the video. But if you can get past that to the message he's trying to make, because when he talked about LeBron, even he's talking about Bron, and how Bron's talking about how, how is we all down, we're so down and trodden, and black people so down and trodden, and Stephen A. Jackson and LeBron with the whole Black Lives Matter thing. He said, look, y'all are millionaires. Why don't we talk to these kids about how they can get what we got? He said, I was an 18-year-old kid with no shoes on. Before, back in my childhood, I didn't have no shoes. And I'm 18 years old. I get into the NBA, and I make millions of dollars. He said, that's the kind of things we should be talking to these kids about. But no, y'all want to just talk down to them and talk death into them rather than life into them. And it's some really cool, deep stuff. So if you can get past all the cursing and all that stuff, you have some really funny, but not just funny, but really profound information. And so with that, guys, you may agree with me. Great. Let me know if you do. Great. If you don't, let me add that too. I'm going to be talking more about this because, man, this the last few days with all the rain that's been going on, I have been laughing my butt off. It's been hilarious. But you'll get to see for yourself. Whether you like it or not, I'd love to hear from you. Hope y'all having a good day. Y'all take care.